Hey guys, welcome back to the WEKWEDU experience. Before I even introduce my my guest, the way he's sitting there getting ready for this as if it's some interview. Like, relax, bro. Relax. Anyway, for those returning, welcome back. For those that are joining us for the first time, thank you for tuning in to the WEKWEDU experience. Guys, today I've got a very special kid. Very special kid. Like, the funniest thing, I didn't even know this kid. He just reached out on Instagram, and now I consider him a little brother. He is none other than Tapiwa Bengewa. Like, I used to call him Bengewa, I don't know why. Now I resort to calling him WEKWEDU. Yeah. So hey, welcome to the WEKWEDU experience, bro.
Thank you so much, Will. I always like to call you the big man, because what a big man does is when you're around him, you feel bigger.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know that. I don't know why he's trying to flatter me. Maybe he doesn't want the questions that I'm going to ask him. But, I'm going to put him on the spot and, ask him the very first question. WEKWEDU, what does that mean? Like I've always wondered. WEKWEDU, I've seen you do a whole lot of stuff. But WEKWEDU, what is that?
So technically what happened was when I started an initiative back home.
Yeah.
You have to name your thing. So I wanted to call it Our Own in English.
Okay.
OW, but then I felt like, no, let's take it to vernacular.
Okay.
And I wanted to try and develop, but then develop it.
We are dopa.
Yeah. So what happened was, like, I resorted to WEKWEDU, and I felt like this is unique. This sounds cool. From being the name of the interview, it has become my name. But it's just like you say, calling me WEKWEDU.
Wait, where's my t-shirt?
Oh, I don't bring it.
You see, I like free t-shirts. I like free t-shirts. I like free things, and he didn't even bring me a t-shirt, guys. So I think we should just disqualify him on this episode. So yeah, the episode is over.
You shouldn't have brought it up, because, like, I know a number of listeners who would want those tees. And
guys, get your t-shirts. So what's your Insta name? Let them follow you and get their t-shirts.
Okay, my Instagram is WEKWEDU.
Yeah, you see, WEKWEDU. So guys, WEKWEDU spelled WEKWEDU.
Yeah.
Find him and get your t-shirts. Wait, so you know what? You've actually got I don't know if it's a strategy, or because obviously you've literally just come out and started penetrating through, all these circles, and I don't know if it's a strategy that you came up with. How are you connecting with all these people? I know you're affiliated to Incorporate Zim, and it all started from you just following other people, tagging, and just you really interacting with you. Because I don't know if I replied your message the first time. I think I took long to respond.
Exactly.
I took long to respond, but like when someone is constantly just sharing your content and everything, and you really notice that this person is really consuming my content, you have no other choice than to holler back. So was that a strategy? How do you do it? I see you keep doing it, and you've obviously broken ground into all these circles, but was that a strategy, or what was going through your head when you were tagging people, following them, and sliding in their DMs, connecting? What were you thinking?
Okay, I don't think I have any strategy, because for now I'm really lacking in terms of connecting.
Okay.
But what I would tell you is, when I'm on social media, I'm not just there to see people with eyes of envy.
Okay.
And then I'm there to learn from their experiences.
Yeah.
And then if I feel like you become friends with people, it's either you see something that is new in them,
yeah,
you want to get closer, or you see something that they have that you don't have.
Yeah.
And you're not going to have it in any time soon, but you want to get closer to it, have the experience, like this WEKWEDU experience.
Like wordplay. Okay, all right.
Yeah. So I think I reached out to a number of people on Instagram. Every influencer, every informer, everyone on social media, they want the positive response.
Yeah.
So the moment you give them those responses, make sure you're following through, you know what they're doing. It's not like you become a stalker, no. It's just being an intentional fan, because you're willing to grow out of the fan base. Just like in corporate Zim, I was a fan.
Yeah.
Now I'm part of the corporate Zim team.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Now that's that's something that's so important, because most people would sit here and complain because, like, what's funny, because I know you didn't go to an A school. What school was it you were at?
I went to Gogomere.
Gogomere, exactly. So usually it'll be, someone from Gogomere will be like, look at these guys, they're from Georges and whatever, like there's no way I'm gonna fit in. But like, hey bro, that's not even it. That's not how we are thinking, when we were doing our thing. It's not like we select. When we look at our DMs, we select, we're like, okay, yeah, this one, he looks like a Georges boy, so I'm going to respond. No, that's not it. We're just looking we're looking for people with, who are interested, people who genuinely follow our content, people who genuinely want to make a difference. And when your profile screams that, obviously, people are willing to engage, people are willing to give you time, because, you unlock value by giving value. So if you're giving value to me, then why should I not, also try and give value to you? So it was a dope strategy. I looked at it and I was like, this kid, like he's taking it next level. And yeah, you're connected to most people that I know now, and I'm happy that you're not working with incorporates, and that is actually a good platform, a platform that is, they are striding in this marketplace, man. They are reaching new people. They're making people that were hidden be seen, because like people have developed thousands and thousands of connections just from what incorporates them post. So I appreciate those guys, because those are like my number ones, man. Like I don't know, man, and it's crazy. I don't even know how I connected with Muchi actually. I don't even remember how I connected with Muchi, but it was probably through a friend of a friend or something like that. And then all of a sudden I was on the first episode of the Incorporate Zimcast with Joe and Muchi, and it was, and that's where that whole start where you are thing started, and ever since then it's just been crazy. But yeah.
So what happened? With Muchi and I didn't know Muchi was a co-founder of Incorporate Zim.
Oh, okay.
I knew Incorporate Zim first. I didn't know who was behind this one.
Yeah.
And then I just saw Muchi's profile. Like, okay. The captions, Muchi is a Drake fan in a way.
Yeah.
You're like, nah, this is the vibe. This is the vibes. And then I just replied on one comment. He replied back, slid into the DMs. Started changing bits of inspo. Like, no, kid. When I get back to Zim, he was still in Canada.
Yeah.
I was like, when we get back to Zim, we need to touch this. And when you came back, that was December. Things were tight for me.
Yeah.
That's when we met. And then he came to my city.
All right, he came to Masvingo.
Yeah, he came to Masvingo. I was like, no, in Masvingo, who do I know? Obviously, he used to look for the boy. So this other thing, the more you give value to people, you come from a small town. You don't come from an A school. But when they get to that place, they need to know someone. They need someone to show them around.
Yeah.
And you become that person.
Yeah.
So from that experience, I've learned that when you stand on the shoulders of big men, you get to see further.
Nice.
And
I like that.
you want to keep going further.
Nice.
And also the speed with the wheelchair experience is faster than riding along.
Now we definitely have to connect, because I'm a Kadoma boy.
Oh, really?
I'm a Kadoma boy, boss. I'm a Kadoma boy. Despite the fact that, yes, I did go to A schools and whatever, I'm a Kadoma boy. And most people think I'm from Harare. No, I'm not. I am actually a Kadoma boy. I was born and raised in Kadoma. Everything happened from Kadoma. So, and when I got to Harare, I remember getting to Harare, and people here just live different. The money goes quicker, the lifestyle is faster. And I was just like, can I really do this?
Yeah.
So it took me time to adjust, but ever since 2009, it's been different. And now it's 2021, and it's just different. And now seeing, like, even when I got here, it was worse, because now I feel like it's better. People are now more open to networking and getting to know each other despite the backgrounds. When I got here 2009, it was like, yo, what school are you from? I was from an A school. Yes, I was from MCC, but it wasn't even regarded as anything down these ends. It was like, nah, bro, you gotta be George's House, Gandhi, or a Falcon boy or whatever. But like now, we're rubbing shoulders, and I'm like, that's what it's about. It's really never about where the person's from or what the circumstances. It's about, can we give each other value? Like, what are we doing in this life to make life better for each other? And yeah, man. So your initiative, right? WEKWEDU. So I know you actually. Didn't you do the pad campaign?
Yeah.
You did the pad campaign. So the pad campaign, guys, is basically where, you round up sanitary pads, just to give to our sisters so that they can have a positive period. Because, like, out there people are struggling, people don't have, the right things to be using when they are on their periods and everything. So I know you did that, and I remember you reaching out and you were asking, like, with the 42 million pad campaign that was being run by Africa Rise, how can I be a part of? And I think I connected you to Josh and everything. And why did you? What made you choose to do the campaign though?
Okay, so I was a junior senator when I was still in high school.
Junior senator, okay.
Yeah, part of the junior parliament.
Okay.
So I had more access to visiting communities. When you feel like, no, I've been in this office and all I do is look nice in this black blazer.
Yeah.
Everyone asking, yo, kid, where do you come from? Which school do you go to? Because people can't see which school you go to.
Yeah.
So when I went out to one of the communities around my school, I was asking kids, what problems do you face? And what struck me, one of the girls said they use cow dung in place of sanitary pads. You look baffled. That was the very look I had. I'm like, cow dung?
Cow dung?
Yeah. So like, no, what can be done? Don't you get like free pads from the government? Or no one does that for us. And I was like, no, this is a gap. And if I'm going to be effective, if I'm going to be a good leader, I need to reach out. And not only am I going to reach out to this community, but we have to take it across the whole province. So when I started the pet drive, when you start something and you're doubting yourself. Yeah. And then we pushed out the flyer, and the immediate reaction was, why put your face on the flyer when you're talking about sanitary beds? Toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you shouldn't do that. Let the ladies do that. I'm like, no. If we don't do that, no one will. And funny fact is, in your circle of friends, you have those people you least expect to respond to such matters.
Exactly.
And that was the first person to send money into my EKWEDU. And then I felt like, no, this is right.
This is right.
This is right.
Definitely.
And then we continued with the pet drive. We reached out to 150 girls. And from there, this got attention of the Dutch Embassy. The Dutch Embassy runs a campaign, what they call 16 Days of Activism Against Gender-Based Violence.
Yeah.
So part of that campaign is looking for 16 people across Zimbabwe who are championing issues of gender.
Okay.
And out there, 8.2 million Zimbabweans who are working towards a difference.
Yeah.
My name popped up on that list.
Nice.
And the policy officer, like after I got awarded, he told me, your case stood out because look at you, one, you're a man. Two, you're still in school. You don't have the capacity to do these things, but you looked beyond your resources. You became resourceful. Mm-hmm. So this is one thing for those who want to start something. If you don't have the resources, at least be resourceful.
I like that.
So from there, we got a grant, and now we are upscaling. Instead of just donating sanitary pads, we are now training, schools have fashion departments. We're training those departments to make reusable sanitary pads that are available for any girl who feel they need them. And also we are teaching men how to respond to menstrual issues in schools. When a girl stains, you shouldn't laugh at her.
Yeah, definitely.
But rather at least maybe offer a blazer to cover up so that she can go change, or being positive around it, and not being the stereotypes who laugh around.
Who laugh, yeah. I mean, that's very important because, so many people have, all these childhood traumas, high school trauma, like, because of certain people. Because I know for a fact when I was in school, I used to be, ringleader, like I used to laugh, I used to laugh to a point where, some people never really enjoyed high school, and it was all because of me and my friends and everything. And for the sake of peace, and peace of mind, after thinking about it and reflecting after high school, as crazy as this seems, I actually went and I apologized to all of those people.
Whoa.
I apologized. I was like, guys, maybe I didn't reach every single one of them, but I definitely then put it out in our old boys group where everyone was. I was like, guys, listen, in high school we may have been young, and I might have said this and that you didn't totally agree with, and it might have had you experience high school a different way than everyone else, and I'm sorry. And it felt good because when you realize the mistake. And now when I go to high schools and I talk to these kids, I'm like, guys, no, this is not the way. That's not how you feel big. I don't feel like I had any confidence issues when I was in high school, or any issues really at all. It was just okay, like this is funny, but it was just because I lacked knowledge. I lacked knowledge, and now it's like now I need to educate my young brothers, like, guys, and it wasn't just guys who used to do it, even other girls, But I remember, but the good thing is I remember, like, at a certain point, it started clicking. There's certain things I'll definitely laugh at, and there's just certain things I just never used to tolerate. Because I remember a girl staining, and the worst part is this was during a swimming gala. So she stained, and then there was just blood running down her leg, and I just called her best friend. I was like, take this towel and go and cover your friend quickly, because you can see what's happening there. And that girl to date, she still just hits me up and says thank you for not telling everyone, and laughing at it and all that. I was like, what, I don't think I'd feel good, because obviously it's a bit embarrassing, but it's natural, it's life.
Yeah.
So yeah, but anyway, no, that's all good.
So I think from your experience, what we are trying to do right now with our current project is to create more than 100 WEKWEDU, the men who know. Yeah. And then earlier on, you were talking about the difference between going to an A school and going into a middle school. For those who are in A school or who went to A schools, guys, let me tell you this: don't be trained to be average. That's not humility. That's self-sabotage. You're extraordinary. You have to accept it. And then for those from where I came from, because it's from a personal experience, we should stop looking at these people as friends, because if you see someone as a celeb, they'll treat you as a fan.
It's a fan.
But then you have to look them to say, no, this is achievable, this is attainable. If I can do better with my life, I can do this. This is the standard. Because the moment you have what do you call it? There's a word for it. A benchmark.
Yeah.
If you have a benchmark, you get to push yourself up. So you have to use positive vibes, and I think it'll be easier to tap into the circles, because you get to understand where they see life from.
It's crazy. It's crazy you say that. This is actually a topic that I've never discussed this with anyone, on the working experience, definitely. But it's crazy because there was always that constant battle. So when we were growing up, it was even worse, because it was like, your accent, you speak like this. It was so bad when we were growing up. Now I don't think people really care, or maybe it's just because I'm now way too grown for that. But it was, why do you speak like that? Where do you come from? What is going on with you? What's going on? And now I look at it and I'm just sitting there and I'm like, so many a times it was, we'd go to the school right next door, and we're being looked at differently and we're being judged differently. And I'm like, wait, you're judging us because you think that we think we're better than you guys, but that's not even it. Some people do think that, but then at the same time, some people didn't end up where, at the school they're at because they can't afford it or anything. Some parents just were not, they just didn't, they weren't so informed. So to them it was like, oh yeah, no, this is the best school for my kid to go to and everything. And I'm just like, guys, it's not even like that. And the worst part was, anytime you got interacting with some people from let's say group B schools or whatever, it was, they would go from one extreme to the other. It's like, bro, talk to me normally. I'm talking to you normally. I'm speaking to you in Shona and it's not because I'm not speaking to you in Shona because I'm saying you can't speak English. No, I'm tired of speaking English because we get punished for speaking in Shona. So allow me to speak in Shona. Let's just be normal. And it was more like, guys, like we are not as fascinating as you guys think. Whatever it is, we just want you to be normal. Just be yourself. Which is one thing I appreciate about you, because had you slid into my DMs and then I'd met you and then you tried to be someone else, I probably would not be talking to you right now, because that's not the vibe. That is not the vibe.
The best of you.
Just be you, because that's the vibe we're after. No matter how it is. And then if there are things that I need to teach you, then I teach you. And then if there are things that you need to teach me, then teach me. And then we grow like that. Don't be a different person today, tomorrow a different person. I don't like that. Oh my God, I hate it so much. Or you're around me, you're one person, and the next thing you meet someone else, you're bro, like,
what's happening?
Yeah, like just relax, just be calm. I like hanging around people that are calm, that know themselves, that they're really aware of who they are. Because yesterday, I met for the first time. I did not know Mufti Link.
Ooh, you met. That's why you're bubbling with inspiration. I see,
bro. I did not know that I just met the most influential person in Zimbabwe. The people I was with, they were like, "Whoa, is that?" And I'm just there like, what are you guys talking about? I mean, I've heard the name before, but I didn't know who it was. It was a humbling experience, just him getting up, because I was sitting with we were at dinner with Raza.
Okay.
Raza didn't try and pretend like someone he's not. He just went there, they greeted each other, and he was even shocked that Mufti knew who he was, and everything. And Mufti walked up to our table and he said hello, and I'm like, these are the kind of people that I want in my circle. First of all, because Raza didn't try and change who he was, just because he had seen Mufti, and Mufti, just because he is who he is, he didn't try and treat us like we're his fans. He came, he's the most humble person. I'm just like, okay. And then we're sitting there at the table, and then now I'm searching him up on social media, and I'm like, whoa, this is a big deal.
Yeah, this is a big deal. And then the other thing, before I leave Harare, you have to link me up with Raza again, because when I go home,
Razi.
I'm now in touch with him, thanks to you.
Yeah.
But my auntie she trains cricket at her school.
Okay. Right.
And then she saw my picture with Raza. Like, wait, is that Raza, real Raza? Or there's an Indian guy who looks like Raza and he's wearing 27. I'm like,
it's the real SRB.
Yeah.
No, we could definitely do that. I mean, Raza's always up for a chat. He's just he's one of the most humble people. So you see, like some of these things you catch on to them as you hang out with more and more people. Like, you just, it's almost like you're just fine-tuned as you see someone else doing the thing, and I like that, because life is really copy paste, to be honest. It's really copy paste. You don't have to create something new each time. It is what it is. So I'll definitely link you up with Raza. And so what projects are coming up for like fill us in. Things that we don't know. We need to know the juice. What's going on?
If I would be someone on social media right now, I would be saying let the results speak, but sometimes you just have to let people know the bits and pieces. So that you also keep yourself accountable to say, I spoke about this.
Yeah,
people
it needs to get done.
It needs to get done. So we have one project coming in.
Okay.
I'm working in with Saints Boy. I'd like to keep it that way. You don't have to know who.
Yeah.
But this one, it's gonna put us on the map, bro.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna take time to actually bring it to live, but trust me, you will see me from it's a different whole space. It's not like in the NGO sector or in the advocacy sector, but no, I'm trying something new. I met this other amazing person who's similar to me, and I'm like, no, let's come and join and see what two big forces can bring to fruition. And the other project is, I want to get the hell out of this place.
You want to get out of Zimbabwe?
I didn't say Zimbabwe. I said this place.
This place is my house.
No, I remember you saying I should go to varsity outside Zim. I remember. So I think I'll take that advice.
Bro, if you can do it, but I'll tell you this. Half the time it's not as bliss as you people think it is out there. It is really not. Trust me when I say this. If you can get something done from home, then get it done from home. Because there was a time I was coming home 3-4 times a year.
Okay.
From Australia, because I wanted to be home. I wanted to work on this, I wanted to work on that and everything. But look, just keep moving, whatever it is, just keep moving. And I wanted to ask because, obviously you're doing all these things, and when you're in a position where you're doing things that no one else is really doing, that's pressure, number one. How are you handling the pressure? Pressure, like I don't wanna call it fame, but you're obviously like out there more than most people from your school. How are you handling that? Obviously you've got people that are hating, you've got people that are liking what you're doing, and pressure from the girls, obviously. The girls and everything. How are you handling that?
Oh, okay. I'll break it down. So like you said, I'm someone who's trying to break the barrier from being just a regular kid from Cheke Masvingo. Trying to tap into these circles, trying to learn, trying to have experiences, because people are different. Some will flip you over, some will give you a seat on a rocket, and the next thing you're on Mars. But people back home, people who I used to play with, people I grew up with, sometimes you do an evaluation of who you have around. And a plane can't take off with too much weight on it. It's not like...
I like that. A plane can't take off with too much weight on it.
It's not like you're cutting them off. Like, I'm not gonna say hi, how you doing the next time we meet. But the level of energy I used to give you, it's different right now.
It's different right now.
You get it? And then expired friendships, they see it as beef. Because they're saying, no, Tapiwa, see, you now hang around UK, you get it. But then I'm like, no, it's okay. I didn't know UK from 15 years ago, but I think I can trust you for the next 15. It's not about where we're coming from, but where we are and where we need to go. And then the other pressure from the girls, bro, it's now on a diminishing return.
He's now into economics now.
There was a point where it was like on peak. But then I'm like, they're like, no, this is a regular guy. He's just chilled. And then the other pressure right now with the firm, the problem with being known is about a week from now. Zim secret results are going to be out. And from the head of state, they'll be asking that kid.
Yeah, what did he get?
WK will be like,
obvious.
So like I think I told you this. Bro, I'm under pressure.
Under pressure. Pressure to perform.
But you already wrote. It's not like you're gonna say, bring me back the papers.
I need correct.
But then I'm like, okay, whatever the outcome, since I'm someone who's already out on the socials, if it's bad, I'm just gonna tell you guys, I didn't do well. If it's good, I did well, and then we plan the next step.
I like that. I like the way you said that, because I'll tell you this. I didn't do well. I didn't do well for my O levels, and I didn't do well for my A levels either. O levels was the worst because I failed the one subject that I loved the most. My mom was so confused. Like, how do you fail accounting, boy? And accounting was definitely responsible for my combination, because at MCC, for you to get business studies, you had to have passed accounting, because we weren't doing business studies. So once you pass accounting, you can get business studies. So my combination was meant to be accounts, business studies, and I think it was Geo or something like that. That's what I was supposed to do, and I failed. And I think for people it was like, oh, what did he get? Yeah, like what did he get, Mr. Captain, everything. And I was like, yeah, I failed.
Yeah.
And for some, it was a ha 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 moment. They wanted to laugh.
Yeah.
But then when they realized, like, I didn't even care what they thought. It was like, so it literally died down.
Okay. So allow me.
Yeah.
Let's shift the roles.
Okay.
I'm not the host.
Oh, okay.
You're the guest.
Okay, cool.
Okay, because I need to ask you more of these questions because I'm gonna head into that space right now.
Okay.
So the acceptance stage to say, okay, this is what happened.
Yeah.
How did you reach that?
I thank God for my parents. My parents are they're super amazing people. They're super amazing people. That's also what helped me know, like, when you know where you come from. Obviously for my mom it was a shocker, like, this kid, because Form 1, Form 2, Form 3, we were doing fine.
Okay.
We were definitely fine. And for me, I just realized, like, I get exam pressure. Exam pressure is the one that kills me a lot. So yeah, but you get home and then my parents are like, oh, you know what, it is what it is. You're not going back to MTC because you're just playing too much sport there. This is why you failed. But what do you want to do? And I'm like, guys, I wanna rewrite. I wanna rewrite some of these subjects ASAP. And I work well under pressure. I definitely work well under pressure. So because I didn't realize, like, Form 4, yes, I was at school, but I really was not at school. I was doing sport, and I was doing sport at the highest level, and I was doing school at the lowest level. That's what happened.
I feel like it's the same for me. Was back in school, I think I always spend at least 2 weeks at school. It's either I'm out in Harare for a conference, I'm out for a state visit. I was the media guy at school again.
Right.
So wherever the sports parts took you, I had to be there.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed going out more than I enjoyed being in class. But then I still did that. I think that was the reason why I didn't do math at A level. A lot of people ask me, you're boffin, you're smart, why did you do math? I'm like, no, I'm not an in-class 24/7 guy. I can't handle math.
Yeah.
So I think, like, this is one of the abilities I think young people out there need to have, to say, you need to know who you are.
Yeah.
You need to strategize yourself to say, if I want to do this, I have to drop this. Mm-hmm. If I want to continue enjoying high school like I did, boy, don't do that.
So yeah, like, so going back to how I accepted it, my parents were just like, okay, look, so this is what's gonna happen for me, because my goal was to be head boy for Midlands Christian College, and I was well on track to being head boy, and then now lower 6 you don't go back, and it's like, and you're gonna miss the sport and everything. So I moved to this college for 1 year, and I was killing it. School, I was killing it. I wasn't playing sport, so I had nothing better to do than to actually study. And I was surrounded by people who were just about school. So I killed it. I rewrote. I got my A's, my B's, and whatever. And then now I got my O levels now, and I was already doing A level, and I wasn't gonna write AS. I was gonna write full A level. But then all of a sudden, MCC was reaching out. They kept on asking, like, so what are you gonna do about your sporting career and all that? And I was like, my parents don't want me to come back. The one time I then went behind my parents' back, I went to MCC, I got the forms, I spoke to the head, and he was like, guys, you guys are welcome to come back anytime. And this was like literally the week before schools opened. I think this was on a Friday, and school was opening on Monday. I took the forms, got home, I was like, Dad, Mom,
I said, okay,
I'm going back to MCC. Here are the forms, and MCC has actually given me a scholarship.
So I have to go
So
back.
I'm going back. And the scholarship offer had been there the whole year, but they saw, like, this kid is determined. So I went back to MCC, and guess what I did again?
Yeah.
I played sports to the highest level. Played sport to the highest level. Almost at an undefeated rugby season. We lost one game that year.
Like, this is one question I still have. Why has Will K changed from being the player on the field to being the guy behind the administration
of the sport?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, cool. Okay, I'll get to that. So I go to MCC. I play. I'm hardly doing school, and I knew like so at this point I was not doing economics, accounts, and business studies, right? And I knew business studies was a whiz for me. I knew I could pass that in my sleep, but economics and accounting now.
Those diagrams.
So then I just never got the hang of everything, you know. I failed, and I failed this much. And then again, because also when I went back to MCC, I was then made head of discipline.
Okay.
Right, and this was the first ever appointment of a prefect, like smack in the middle of the next year, because you get appointed a prefect when you're like what, lower six. So now this is upper six. I go back to MCC and boom, I become a prefect. So people are like, oh, what's going on here? So now obviously there's now pressure. But for me, I guess I've never been a pressure person, because as long as I'm doing what I want and I know where I'm coming from, and I know, hey, if I tell my parents, look. So my mom even asked me after writing. She said this in Shona. She was like, like obviously meaning like, you know, do you think you're gonna do well in your, like, do you think you did well in your exams? I was like, nah, I don't know, we'll see. But I knew I hadn't done well. Results came, I'd flunked. And what people seem to forget is, and I remember a lot of people laughing at me, and I was just like, you know, the thing is, you guys don't know where I come from. You know, like my parents are not bothered by much. As long as there's some sort of movement and there's progression in my life, it's cool. So they asked me again, what do you want to do? I was like, guys, let's do what we do best. Crash course. Let me write in June. And boom, crash course. Bah! There you go. Will K's got his A-levels now. I've got my O's, I got my A's. Where you want to go? I want to go to Australia. I'd already told them since grade 5 that I want to go to Australia. And then boom, you know, I was and then I took about a year and a half out of school, just learning my dad's businesses, and boom, I went to Australia. But for some people, it's like, yo, if you fail, you're not going anywhere. So you gotta know where you come from. You gotta know your people, know your parents, and just do you. I keep on telling people, like, just do you. Because I remember when I was busy, I used to say this at school. I was like, guys, I didn't come back to MCC to do school. I really came back to play rugby and, you know, just play sport. People thought I was just, you know, talking. But really, that's what I dedicated to do. It wasn't the smartest decision. I'm not saying, guys, you should do that, but I'm saying, but I knew if I went back home, you know, even had I passed or not, my parents were just gonna make another plan for me. Yeah. It's different for other people. So, you know, you gotta know who you are, where you're coming from, and then, you know, so accepting that was so easy. And for me, it was like, yo, I failed, so what?
Yeah,
you know. And a couple of years later, and for some people, crazy how I even said to some people, because at that point now, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna show you, you know. I was like, you're gonna go to uni first. I said this to a lot of people that were laughing at me. I said to them, you're gonna go to uni first, and you're gonna finish uni, then you're gonna start working. I'm gonna go to uni after you. But by the time I finish, I would have made more money than you. That was the craziest thing. Yeah. It was the craziest thing.
I was awake.
Obvious. You know, when you... And like, because I remember when I was in my second year, when I was in second year of uni, I probably, I had made more money than some of them.
But wait. So the last like discussion we had, which was off air, you mentioned something, changing from proving people to adding an I am to proving. Now becomes
improving.
Yeah, improving yourself. Like you did that to prove people, obviously. You did that to prove people.
Yeah.
But then how are you now improving yourself? Because you've already proved them.
So I then realized, like, because now that I proved them wrong, my next thing was, okay, so now what? Do I now need to find someone else to prove something to? Then I realized, no, as I was growing up, I realized, you know what, I don't have to prove myself to anybody now. I'm now doing self-development. You know, I'm now in a different mind space. I'm like, you know what, the only person I need to improve is myself, and I need to prove this to myself and not anyone else. And that's how I've basically lived ever since then. You know, just getting better, proving to myself that I can break barriers, I can move mountains, I can do A, B, C, D. And you know, that's how I ended up in this space. Like, I then realized, like, you know, you asked how I ended up, you know, being behind the scenes with this whole sport thing. Is because I realized, look, I can't go back to the sporty field right now, right? But it also somewhere, somehow, something changed inside me. There was a seed planted in me to help other people. I know there's certain people who can't reach Zim trials because of, even where they're located.
Yeah.
But if I can break that barrier, if I can help break that barrier to bring those kids to Zim trials, then, let's do it. So now that's what we're working towards, because I feel like we've got a great future as Zim sport. We really do. But the only problem is we don't really, we don't really take time to really spot the talent. It's like, okay, these kids, they're from this school, they're the ones that can do the job, but that's not the case. That's not the case. The fastest runners I've seen have never been to Sim trials, but those guys, they move.
Yeah,
they move, and I'm like, whoa. We had a kid from Koba that made Zim cricket. Through, I've got a friend, Kundai Kurewa, he runs Kindle Cricket, and I joined Kindle Cricket, and he was just doing this. You would go to Koba and you would play cricket with the kids. He got one of those kids to try out for Zim, and the kid made Zim from Koba.
Whoa, that's amazing.
These kids were playing cricket on the top, like in the street over the weekends.
So imagine with the whole field.
Imagine with the whole field and everything. I remember the one Kotko I went to, and Mbari Academy was terrorizing, like other schools. Like these guys were so good, and I'm just like, see, that's where it's at. So with everything that we're doing now, I'm not going to spill the beans, but with everything we're doing now, that's where it's at.
Okay.
So, but listen, like we could go on. Like I feel like we can talk for hours.
Yeah, I don't know. Ooh.
But we've been at it for about 40 minutes.
So like we had planned for 20.
For 20 now we're at 40. But we'll definitely do another episode. Because it's always great to just talk about life. Different experiences. We come from different life setups and everything. And I appreciate you coming through. And before you leave Harare, we'll see what we can do, but you leave tomorrow, so that's another thing.
We can change that, bro.
But now, guys, thanks for tuning in. I don't know if Tapiwa has any last words for you, because I always have words for you. But anyway, what would you like to say to just the listeners out there, and especially people that are coming from a background like yours, because I feel like that's really important, because someone needs to know that it's okay to be where you're at. Some things are not, on the other side, things are not just given, as most people assume, like I don't go pure, they're just given these things. What would you like to say to them?
I think most people, they say they don't have confidence to level up to the people from the other side of town. But what I can tell you, confidence, it's a habit that can be developed by acting as if you have confidence.
Okay.
When I hit up your DM, I was always like, let me hit and send. Yeah. But the moment you act like you know what you're doing, it gets easier. And the other thing is, if they don't involve you, don't try to fit in. No.
Yeah.
Know where you want it and know where you need it.
Yeah.
Exactly. So if you're out there, the only gap between you and I and Will K that's going to take us to the other side of the bridge where we are now is your phone. Hit up that person you like on Instagram. I now talk to Pacho Ranking on a daily basis.
Oh, really?
Hi, Pacho, how are you doing?
Hey, Pacho, what's good?
Yeah. Just because I used my phone positively.
Yeah.
So, Tatina Kamera, Mr. Kamera, he always says that. Use your phone wisely, guys. So those are my last words. I could ramble on and on if I continue. But thank you for having me, Willard. Thank you for being at this place. Guys, I just want to tell you one secret. Where I'm sitting right now, Aishan, this was where Aishan's my day was shot.
Recognize the place. Yeah, no. I've become friends with some artists. So when they say, "Yo, can we use your house to shoot a video?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's cool." I remember I did a TikTok and someone was like, "Why does this look like the house where my day peanut butter?" I was like, "Yeah, it is." But anyway, thanks, guys. We'll catch you next week, Wednesday. For now, love positive vibes, and just keep it moving. Know where you stand, know who you are, but just don't be limited. Just keep going, and if you need anything, just hit up our DMs. And we'll catch you next time.